A 9-year-old boy was found dead on Wednesday in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. Azuri Charles was found after he did not get on the school bus. Authorities are calling his death a homicide. His father has been taken into custody, but not charged in this matter. At this point, his father has been charged in the matter of giving him a black eye back in November. Azuri was a cancer survivor. Hey, everybody, and welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. This is Katie Weaver, and I'm here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Christy Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Hey, Katie. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going?
I know. Good. There are puppies running laps in my office, so if you hear some puppy business, well, that's
when are there not?
Right. I tried to get in here without them today, and it wasn't happening, so
Good luck.
They might be a little attached. Yeah.
My kitty Sandy made a
you?
debut in the psychic hour last week because she snuck in my office. She showed up on video for everyone to see. So I feel you.
When you live with a bunch of animals, well,
that's what happens.
Animal things happen for sure.
True.
Well, I am very good. Just living the life, you know. I've been very busy traveling with our daughter's softball team and had all kinds of exciting things happen. She was the Mondac Player of the Week last week. She hit 3 home runs in 2 games, 1 walk-off and 1 grand slam. She had a walk-off the next day to win a crucial game. She's just lighting it up. It's very fun.
She is doing so well. It's awesome. I've been keeping everyone abreast of what's going on when you were gone.
Well, thank you. I know.
Everybody
like, if I have to softball again, I swear to God.
Oh, no. Everyone wanted to know in both live streams. Everyone was like, so wait a minute. What's going on with softball?
Well, good. Well, we will be heading out again in a couple of days for the next leg of the postseason playoffs. So they've made it through the sub-regionals. Now we're headed to regionals. And if they win regionals, then they will go on to super regionals, and they'll be heading, I think, to Ohio.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know what we're going to do. But they have to make it through sub or regionals first, and we'll find out. So the team that
is it like super hootie regionals after super regionals, or like
something like that? Well, if they win, okay, here's what I understand, and maybe I don't know. If they won, they took second at sub-regionals, which put them into regionals. But after that, they only take 1 team. And the team that beat them out of sub-regionals, out of first, we have to play them again. They also go to the same regionals that we do. In fact, it's at their house.
Thanks.
But if we were to beat them, which we did last year, we'd go on to Ohio and play. And if we beat that team, we'd go on to Minnesota and play. And if we beat that team, we go to the World Series. So that's how close we are.
Yikes. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. So we'll see. You know, whatever they do. I'm so proud of these girls and how amazing they've done. If they're done right now, I don't care. I would be thrilled to see them keep going, but this has been a phenomenal experience, and I'm thrilled with whatever they do at this point. I'm just here to hold dogs and pass out Gatorades and wipe tears and, you know.
Well, there you go.
And cheer loud. Yep. And remind husbands not to yell at the refs. That's my
job. He does have a little bit of a problem with that.
Sometimes. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah. So how are you?
I'm very good. Very good. Just, loving the weather, having fun with my new crystal shop.
Yeah.
I did both our live streams last week without you. A lot of fun. On the Psychic Hour, we had my friend JJ, and she was a blast. Definitely going to have her back because that was really fun and just doing great.
Very good. Love to hear it. And thank you for holding down the fort.
You bet.
Full of chaos these days, but I think we're settling soon. We'll find out. Or maybe we're going to Minnesota. I don't know. We'll find out. Well, guys, this is our Monday episode.
Yes,
So, Christy, I'm actually going to give the mic right over to you. You're going to kick us off with some I want to say cold case updates, but that's wrong. But it is
a crime update. Yeah.
A crime update. There you go.
As you know, we are all following very closely the Vicky and Casey White situation.
Mm-hmm.
White, a corrections officer who, it appears she's broken her boyfriend out of jail. That's what's happened.
Yep.
And she and Casey White are on the run. Casey White being a very dangerous man who was serving 75 years in prison and then admitted to a murder. So he is actually awaiting trial on first-degree murder. Mm-hmm. And, recently it came to light that he made a statement that if he ever got out, he was going to go murder his ex-girlfriend and her mother.
So finish what he started. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, Vicky White has definitely, she's chosen the wrong horse, you guys. That's what she's done here. Very
fallen scary. For something. Oh.
Yeah. She has. So there was a press conference with the sheriff in this case that happened on May 6th. So, this case is airing Monday, but we are recording it on Friday. So we want to share the latest press conference. And of course, if more things come up, we'll just jump in with a live stream real quick and tell you what's up.
Oh, yeah.
But some interesting information has come out. So let's listen to part of this press conference and see what's up.
We're sort of back to square one as far as the vehicle description right now. As I said, we're working on trying to see if there are any stolen vehicles in that area. I'm hoping that we'll get a break in that. But we're no longer looking for the Ford Edge. I also have with me our district attorney, Chris Conley, and he has an update for you on the reward information.
Thank you, Sheriff. After talking with the sheriff, I contacted the governor's office this morning and submitted a written request for her to give us the maximum reward possible under state law, which that's $5,000 per person. I submitted a written request, and within 1 hour of getting that request, she has provided me with a proclamation approving that maximum request for the award. And she states that the circumstances surrounding this event indicate that every effort should be made to apprehend and arrest Vicky White and Casey White. So we thank the governor's office for their prompt response and are certainly hopeful that this may encourage or incentivize someone to come forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
Does that extend the total? Does it make it higher?
That makes the total reward for Casey White $15,000. The total reward for Vicky White $10,000. So a total of $25,000 in reward money now. Okay, with that, I'll take a few questions.
Sheriff, are you upset at all about the fact that it took maybe a couple days for this other department to tell you guys that the car was sitting there in impound?
Well, I mean, not really. Obviously, we'd like to know it Friday. They found the car before we even knew they were gone. So, I mean, there's no fault or blame on anyone. The tow driver towed it Friday afternoon. I'm sure that he probably sees some of the coverage that you guys have provided us. Saw the description of the car, and then probably a light went off, said, hey, I think I remember towing that car, and went out in the lot and found it. So
I guess I'm concerned, is it like you guys sent out a bulletin? So every agency should be getting a bulletin that you guys were looking for this car. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out, where was the ball dropped in terms of looking at the paperwork, where it was missing, and that they had one?
I'm not sure I followed that question, but are you saying the deputy that responded to the call?
No, I'm just basically saying you guys put out a bulletin to the entire country that you're looking for this car.
Yes.
And so I guess what I'm saying is, at what point did they look at the bulletin and notice that they had the same car that you were looking for?
Well, the car was towed on Friday. That bulletin went out, if I'm not mistaken, Tuesday morning. So, there again, that's about a 4-day delay. And I'm sure at some point in time, a light went off in this guy's head, and he thought, wait a minute, you know, I mean, they tow a lot of cars, you know.
Sheriff, was there anything found in the car? What sort of state was the car in? And has there been any credible sightings in that area of Tennessee?
No credible sightings I'm aware of. The car was, there was nothing in the car. The car was not inventoried by the record company, and the comment is it didn't appear to be anything in it. It had been, there had been an attempt to spray paint it. And I have some photos if you want to see it. It's a botched up job, but they did attempt to try to paint it a little bit.
What makes you think the car actually broke down, you know, as opposed to them just ditching it, getting
Well, because of where it was found, a rural road, county road, where there's, you know, there may not a lot of traffic, but somebody obviously would see it sitting on the side of the road and call it in, which is what happened. If I were going to abandon a car that I knew was hot, it would be in a crowded parking lot somewhere where it blend in and not stand out so much.
Have you been able to piece any more of the puzzle pieces together in terms of what Vicky was up to leading up to this? There are reports that she was at the Kohl's buying large men's clothing and also at an adult store.
No. You know, I don't know what she was up to. I think at this point it's obviously, you know, a jailhouse romance or something, but that's the only explanation I really have.
Is there anything on video that you've seen to support that it was a romance?
Not that I've seen. Anyone, I saw a hand over here a while ago, I thought.
Sure, quick question.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Now you actually have the car in your possession, law enforcement's possession. What can you glean from that vehicle, if anything, about how you're trying to track down these people?
I don't know, you know, it really doesn't leave us a lot. We just know what direction they were headed. You know, they headed north from here. Now, where they're after Friday afternoon when they abandoned that car, which direction they had from there, we don't know. You know, so on that particular issue, we're sort of back to square one. But
One follow-up to that, I know Mr. Connolly had announced earlier that $90,000 roughly was taken out of a series of banks by Vicky White the week prior. What can you say about that?
yeah, that's my understanding. You know, from a number of banks, and you know, we knew she had cash. You know, we've been working on trying to find that. You know, find out what she had or whatever. But yes, I mean, they had plenty of cash.
Do you think she had more than 90,000 in cash?
Not that we know of. Yes, sir.
Sure. Do you have any information about any connections as far as family members to either Casey or Vicky White in Middle Tennessee or in that northern direction on 65?
Not that we know of. That's something we'll be looking into for sure to see if we can find. I don't think so, because, you know, we've been sort of looking at that from day one as far as family connection.
So you're
Yes.
thinking they're on foot?
Well, they were when they lost their vehicle. Now, you know, there again, did they steal another car? They hitch a ride with somebody or something? You know, we don't know.
That's the question. I was gonna say, have you had any indication how they left that remote?
Yeah.
Move on from that.
No, sir, we don't know right now.
Rick, how far off of 65 was the car left?
It looked like, I don't know, I haven't been to the scene. Looking at the map, it looked like maybe 2 or 3 miles east of 65, due east of Spring Hill, Tennessee. So, you know, it's hard to tell for sure. But obviously, they were taking the back roads.
On our last report, we heard that they had potentially had AR-15, a shotgun, and some other weapons. Do you think that they might have taken those weapons with them or still on?
I think anything they had in the car with them, they obviously took with them because there was nothing in the car. Those are weapons that Vicky White owned personally. We're assuming that they have those weapons with them. We don't know that for a fact, but we're on the side of safety. We're assuming they do have those weapons.
Oops, unmute myself. Okay, so that is pretty interesting updated information. That car was abandoned on Friday before anybody even knew they were missing.
Yeah.
They believe it broke down, and so it really kind of put a wrench in their plans, which hopefully, you know, is going to make them screw up in a way that they'll be caught. But
Yeah, but hopefully that doesn't mean that they hurt somebody else.
right.
But that's my worry. I mean, did they
there?
just gone with someone else's car and with them in it, or like what did they do?
What did they do? Because as you heard that sheriff say, Vicky White was known to own several weapons, and they believe that they have them with them.
Mm-hmm.
They also now know she does, in fact, have $90,000 in cash with her.
Yeah.
Now, that scares me a lot for her safety, frankly. She is a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
liability. I mean, if he's got a vehicle, because probably they've come up with something,
Mhm.
and $90,000 in cash and a bunch of guns, what does he need her for?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
She's really missing the mark here with how dangerous a person he is.
Mhm.
So, some interesting things that came out there. They know she stayed in a hotel the night before, which is
Yeah.
interesting. I know she just sold her house, but I don't know,
Mhm.
did she literally not have anywhere to live?
I'm
Wi-
wondering.
Wondering, yeah. And she
Yeah.
hadn't, had anything else to live in because she knew she was going to be doing this.
She's been planning this for a while. She
Yeah.
had cash on hand. It's hard for me to think that she hasn't found a way to get documentation, to get fake passports, fake driver's licenses and whatnot. If those two
Something.
haven't fled straight to Mexico, I would be very surprised. That's
You know,
still what I think.
What to except that they went north, not south. They went from Alabama up into
Yeah.
Tennessee, and that was north.
Yeah.
And that is kind of surprising because I feel like, that
Mhm.
was everybody's thought is, oh, they're heading for Mexico.
Mhm.
Why would they go north if they were
Can
heading
you
for
imagine
Mexico?
going to Mexico with 90K?
Right.
You could live real comfy for a long time.
You could just disappear
Yeah.
into Mexico, and yeah, it's scary.
Well, maybe it's another country that they were headed to. I really think they're leaving the US.
I would think they would be insane not to. I mean, at this point. We've got a puppy battle going on, guys. I can hear it. Little snots. Well, and if you're watching the video, and I'll describe this if you aren't, they showed a couple of images. One is of what she would look like with brown hair, because her hair was blonde and they thought she probably dyed it, may have cut it. I've seen many people comment that the pictures that are going out of her are much younger than how
Yeah.
she looks now.
Mhm.
There were also Casey White is heavily tattooed. And there
Yes.
were a lot of pictures of his tattoos shown
Mhm.
in that press conference. And I'll put a link to it in the show description so you can go watch the whole thing if you want to. This sheriff just kills me. We're kind of looking at that. Yeah, we're wondering about that, and the reporters are like, but wait a minute. And how about this? And he's just so talking slow. And yeah, we're
Mhm.
probably thinking it, he
Well, if I
seems
was gonna hide a hot car, I'd leave it in.
He's like, look, people, we've dealt with a lot of criminals. I don't know why
Right.
you're freaking out. But, I mean, it is literally a week since that car was abandoned,
Yeah.
and more than a week now. And that's real concerning because that is the last credible sighting there has been of these two.
Yeah.
So, it does beg the question, are they holed
Yeah.
up with somebody? Have they got a friend, somebody helping them, a
Yeah.
family member?
Yeah.
That's got helping them hide for a while. So
I
that
would
they're
also
not
like to know if the ex-girlfriend and her mother have some kind of protection.
I would think so because that's been all over the news now
Mhm.
about him making that threat. So I would imagine that there is some.
Mhm. What a
I don't know.
terrifying situation for them. Now, do I actually think they're still in the area and that he's going to come back and hurt them? No, he's getting the hell out of
No.
here. But
Yeah.
still, what a terrifying situation for them.
That is knowing that she, boy, has she screwed up here.
Oh man.
And another point in the news conference, a reporter asked the sheriff, "What would you say to Vicky?" And he was like, I'm worried for your safety. I think you ought to get away from that situation as fast as you can and turn yourself in. And, you're what you're doing
Yeah.
here. I just don't want you to get hurt. I mean, okay, valid. Although
Yeah.
she has supplied a violent murderer. He's confessed to this murder. I know he's not convicted, but he
Right.
has confessed. And she supplied him with 90K and some guns, including an AR-15. Like, what the hell, lady?
Yeah.
Like, she's been going off the deep end for a while.
Mhm. Without a doubt.
Yeah. So that is the latest update in that case.
Yeah.
And we'll keep following it. And, if anything else happens, we'll just pop in and let you know.
Yeah.
But Katie, I'm going to turn the mic back over to you for our main case.
You know, for a while there, it was 4 and 5-year-olds that we just kept covering being murdered by their parents, disappearing, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at 9 and 10-year-olds.
Oh gosh.
Somehow, I don't know why this keeps being synchronistic. I wish it wasn't.
Yeah.
But, you know, we all know about Lily Peters last week. We covered that case quite a bit. Well, there is a missing child. Last Wednesday, a little guy named Azuri Charles went missing in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. I'm going to show you a picture of him. And, yep, he was 9. Poor little dude is a cancer survivor.
Oh man.
He's been through a lot in his young life.
Sure
Really
has.
a lot. And on Wednesday, or I think actually on Tuesday, he did not get on the school bus. And they started, look at that kid. He's so cute.
Look at that smile.
They started looking for him. And an elderly neighbor found him behind a shed, back kind of behind their house towards the woods, near her chair. And she said her chair was askew, and she thought that was weird, and she found him. He's fully dressed but didn't have shoes and socks on. And the police pretty much immediately said this was a homicide.
Oh boy.
And so I want to tell you guys a few facts of the case. They do have a person of interest that they have not named. However, his dad has been arrested.
Right.
Now, they're saying that dad has been arrested because he actually had a warrant for giving this guy a black eye back in November.
But how did they have a warrant for that and he wasn't already in jail?
Good freaking question. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, what is going on here? That they know that this guy has abused his son, and yet he's out long enough to potentially murder him? Oh.
Right?
Yikes.
So he has been arrested, but again, it's not for the crime at hand, but it is for violence against a child. So this is a picture of him being taken into custody. So that's what we know right now about dad. Tried to find a little bit more about what kind of cancer he had and things like that. I'm finding nothing. This case is frustrating me to pieces because there's very little being reported on it.
Yeah. I did not know anything about it, and it's brand new.
Yeah. This case should be all over the news, and it's not. And it's driving me nuts. I couldn't even get a live stream from the press conference. It doesn't exist. I'm miffed. I'm disgusted.
Yeah.
This case deserves just as much attention as Lily Peters or anybody else.
Yes.
But it's not getting it. So we're going to give it as much as we possibly can. And I'm going to do everything I can to fill the holes, but there are a lot of them. So his neighbors and his school are just absolutely devastated. They all say that he was a wonderful kid, a gentle boy, a friend to all, very helpful. He has 3 younger sisters.
Oh, wow.
There has been quite a bit of, there's been a vigil for him. There's a memorial set up for him. And now an elementary school is grappling with the fact that one of their own has been murdered.
Oh, can you imagine teaching in a school like that and trying to help the kids through understanding something like this?
Yeah. One of his friends said, he was the nicest person I ever met. We liked to ride our bikes and we would always play together. Another 9-year-old. Yeah. One of the community members that was interviewed had said that trying to explain this to young children has been just heart-wrenching.
Oh, yeah, terrifying.
And then another neighbor said, when you have kids, it's just heartbreak. Then having to wait for our kids to come home from the bus and see all the caution tape around their house and having to explain what happened is just a stab in the heart.
Oh, yeah.
It's just unthinkably horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, of course, people are pushing for justice and they're so angry. The neighbor, her name was Aussie Taylor, who did find his body. She said, I knew something wasn't right because my lawn chair was out of place out there,
Wow.
and went and took a look, and that's what she found.
Mm.
Yeah. And that was actually,
for her.
yeah, that was at 6:18 on Wednesday morning, but he'd been missing since Tuesday when he never got on the bus. Now,
So, did the
where's
school report him missing, or did his family?
not clear. Not clear.
Yeah, that's interesting.
hmm
Um,
Also, not clear on where mom is.
yeah, I wondered about
Well,
that.
or the sisters, to be fair. Right? There's just very little coming out. So I'm still watching really closely.
Yeah.
We do know that he, like I said, he was a pediatric cancer survivor. He recovered 1 year before he was murdered.
Oh my God. To beat cancer when you're 9 years old and then to get murdered. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sad.
The neighbor had said she doesn't know what kind of cancer he had, but she does know that he had been sick for quite a while and had endured multiple surgeries. So he's
Oh,
been through a lot.
he sure
Really
has.
been through a lot. She said all he does is ride his bike and play with his sister, and for something like this to happen, it's just unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't
bet.
even imagine what the neighbors are experiencing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So another neighbor, I can't stop talking about what the neighbors say because it's just so, God, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Another neighbor said, you would have never thought that him out there playing so jovial, you would never know that that little boy was laying up there fighting for his life, for him to come back so full of life.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, just everybody in the neighborhood they've all said such kind things about him. And, of course, the neighborhood is worried. The neighbor or the police say, don't be worried. We have a person of interest. Don't be worried. But how can you not be worried when a
right.
9-year-old is murdered in your neighborhood?
Well, and how can you not be worried when there was a warrant for dad for abusing him since November
Right.
that hadn't been served on him, that he hadn't gone to jail for?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they found him now. Where was he back in November?
Right. Exactly.
That is really screwed up.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So this is basically what we know at this point. There's very little to say again, and that's frustrating, but we'll keep watching. But we
Sure.
do know that dad's in custody. I suspect that they think it's dad and that he's probably going to be charged. But this is very new. And I think that they are, still getting an autopsy together and things like that. And so there's
Yeah.
a lot we don't know yet. So
Yeah, there's a lot to do before they can lay charges. At least they were able to arrest him, though, and hold him so that they know where he's at, so he can't try to take off.
yeah.
But
Yes.
I think that the public deserves some answers about why he was out to begin with.
Agreed.
Why this little boy was with him if he
Agreed.
had that warrant for abusing him to begin with.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. So he has actually been to court now. Dad has, and he's been denied bail at this point.
Good.
And his name is Gene Charles.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye on Gene Charles. And honestly, everything I know I pieced together from several very short news articles. There's very little anywhere else. So that's all I have to say, actually, except for that I
Okay.
wanted to open an investigation on this one. I want us to keep an eye on it. Azuri's life mattered. And
Yes.
this is a homicide, and we have to talk about it and keep talking about it.
Well, and we need to be holding the police accountable.
Yes.
It's very
And
important.
also, people need to quit murdering their children, for Christ's sake. I am so
Right.
sick of this. I would love to report on something else. I'd love to report on goofy crime all day, but this
Right.
stuff just keeps happening.
Surely does.
So we'll keep gathering info and let you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, Christy, I know that you are ready to give us one more segment and tell me what it is.
It is WTF News.
Okay, here we go.
Now, I know we all consider Walmart to be basically a one-stop shop. Like,
Oh,
you can
boy.
get Practically anything there. But Rebecca Taylor took this a little far. She was at a Walmart in this was right at the end of January. And she decided that what she really wanted to do was buy somebody's baby whilst they were standing in line to pay for their stuff.
Well, sure. Why not buy
I
someone's
mean,
baby?
you can get everything there, right?
Well, and it's so convenient. You're already there. You could buy all the baby supplies you need.
Right. Easy
Why not
peasy,
just give
right?
the baby too?
Right. So the mother of this little boy said she was approached by Taylor while she was waiting in the self-checkout. I don't know if the lady thought she could just scan the kid. But she started
so.
commenting on the little boy's blonde hair and blue eyes and asking the mother, how much could I purchase him for?
Oh.
So at first, mom just kind of thought it was a joke. She laughed it off like, oh, whatever, you know. And Taylor was like, no, I have $250,000 in the car and I want to pay that much for him. Will you take that much? And then Taylor, who was with another woman who is not named currently, started calling the little boy by his name. And the mom had not told Taylor the boy's name. So they'd been following her or something because she knew his name.
Stalking her through the store. Oh my
Yes.
God.
So she follows her out into the parking lot. Mom is just trying to get the hell out of there with her son.
Why did she go into the parking lot?
I know. I was like, why did you leave the store, lady? Hello. Go right up to an employee and say, will you please call the police? So they get out in the parking lot and Taylor starts screaming at this woman that if she won't take $250,000 for him, then she will give her $500,000 because she wants him and she is going to take him. Now there is surveillance video from Walmart that does confirm this.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor had said that he was the perfect fit and that she had been wanting to buy a baby for a long time. Fortunately, the police were called. Taylor was arrested. Get this, though. They set her bond at $50,000. Now, she was trying to buy the baby for $250,000. And apparently she did really have that money because she bonded right out.
Well, I wanted to know, did she have $250K in her car?
Well, she had something because she bonded out on $50,000 with no trouble at all.
Sure.
And they haven't, I don't know, there's not a lot that's happened since other than she will be charged. But just a note to self, you can't buy somebody's baby at Walmart. It doesn't go that far with the one-stop shop. For hell's sake.
I mean, maybe you could, depends on the day, but
depends on the mother.
What? Who would ever do that? Offer that just nonchalantly? Just
so scary.
That is very weird.
Well, and to know the little boy's name, like she was following them and paying attention, that is terrifying. But yeah, don't leave the store if someone is doing that to you. Walk up to the closest employee and say, call the police.
It's like going into the scary basement when you hear a noise in the dark.
Right? I was like, I'm sure she was just like, I'm just going to get in my car and get the hell out of here. But there were two of them. Like they could have overpowered her or tried, could have gone much worse than it did. So the little boy's fine. And Rebecca Taylor is facing charges. But, that one's a doozy.
Well, wow. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this is our Monday episode. We'll be back for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday night live for case updates and Thursday night for the Psychic Hour. And this week we will do marching orders for the rest of the month. We're a little behind, but hey, better late than never, I guess. Or late's worth the wait. I don't know. I had a lot of things to say. But we appreciate you. Thank you. Please like, share, comment, do your thing. We appreciate all of that. Come and join our discussion group, True Crime Paranormal podcast discussion group on Facebook. And we're trying to discuss more there. That group kind of, We do great there, and then it languishes, and then we do great again. We're doing great. We're going to keep
We
doing
are.
great.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. This has been yet another production of True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. Take care.
Bye, everybody.